Debut for whom? Tim Tebow. After a second-string quarterback Ryan Mallett was hurt, Tebow was competing for a roster spot. He was 4 for 12 for 55 yards and 31 yards on 4 carries, Stephen A. I'm not turning to you first. I'm going to ask someone who's an impartial critic here.
I am totally objective about this.
Great. I am glad. How impressed were you, Skip Bayless, with Tim Tebow?
Here's what I was impressed with, Carrie, and I'm sure Mr. Smith is going to turn away and shut me off here, so I may have to talk to Ms. Champion before this segment is over, this question. The point here is, after all the talk about how Tim Tebow would never see the light of play again in the National Football League, that he was Canadian Football League at best, then after all the talk in New England about how there's no way he'll play anything but special teams, maybe a little tight end, maybe a little fullback. The astonishing thing, what was highly impressive, is that the Patriots had installed a variety of running formations which fit Tim Tebow. They've been practicing all kinds of spread option formations. I don't think they just drew these up in the dirt on Friday night, Stephen A. They clearly had worked on them somewhere along the line in practice. So clearly, as Carrie points out, Tebow got thrown into the fire a little earlier than we thought he would. I thought he might play most of the second half, but Ryan Mallett took a shot up under the chin. So he's in the game, and what happens? Let's go to the opening drive of the second half. We saw the spread option at its best, and it was indefensible. We saw 8 plays, 57 yards, boom, touchdown. LeGarrette Blount, Tebow, LeGarrette Blount, Tebow. Now again, did Tebow throw it well? He can throw, but he had a shaky throwing night. I'll be the first to admit that, because he's playing his 4th offense in 4 NFL seasons. And Stephen A., he's still just 25 years of age, and as you know, he was put on the quarterback shelf for the entire year, all last year. So what was Belichick doing on Friday night? I thought he was sending a message to Cortland, New York. What fools you Jets were. He was laughing at the Jets as he ran formation after spread offense formation and let Tebow do what he can do in the National Football League.
Is that win?
He can win. He can win. That's all he does is win. All he does is make yards. All he does is move the offense, Stephen A. And he threw a couple of balls that were near misses. One to Zach Sudfeld. I think he's going to be a really good find as a rookie tight end out of Nevada. You'll hear a lot more about him. Almost connected with him. Almost hit a deep one on a broken play. He will get better. Those were invaluable snaps for him, because I think the Patriots are going to utilize him in some running situations. So it was great preparation. And guess what, America? He's still a quarterback for Bill Belichick. The best coach in pro football is saying he can play quarterback in the National Football League.
Let me ask this question to Stephen A. Stephen A., how impressed were you with Tim Tebow? Stephen A., how impressed were you with Tim Tebow?
I really have to answer this, huh?
Yes, you do.
You know what? Well, first of all, let me thank Skip Bayless for giving me my reading break during the show. We all need a break. We're sitting here for 2 hours each morning, and I need a break any chance I can get. The only thing, I knew that you wouldn't talk long enough for me to go to the bathroom, so I had to wait for commercial break. But usually it would be around the time that you talk about Tim Tebow, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. The boy can't throw. I keep trying to tell you that, and he just proved it yet again. Don't try to change this argument with your slick, double-talking self. I'm not going to let you get away with it, Skip Bayless. You're trying it again, over and over and over again. This is what you do. Nobody sat there and said Tim Tebow wasn't going to be in the NFL. What they said was he's not going to be in NFL as a starting quarterback for anybody this season. Nobody's going to look for him, and he would say he was looking for a job. Nobody said that. We know he has the it factor. We know he's won games. We know that he's an athletic dude that can contribute on an NFL roster. The point is, you're the one person in America that's still holding on for your last breath. This dude can throw. Stop. There's only Skip Bayless. There's nobody else that thinks this boy can throw. Stop it. So he goes out there and he virtually embarrasses himself because he can't throw yet again. Now, did he run the football? Sure. What did he do? He stood behind center. He handed it off to Blonda Ridley, okay? And they had to do what they had to do. They combined for almost 200 yards rushing against the Philadelphia Eagles. Bond had 101 yards rushing. Ridley had about 92. They ran all over the Eagles. We know that, okay? But the point is, all right, I'm sorry. Forgive me if I can't recall who Tebow handed the ball off to, all right, or the few meaningless running plays that he was able to register. He can't throw. And that's the point. When I look at Tim Tebow, who said he can't run? Who said he can't get you some yardage? I mean, if you told me today that Tim Tebow was a fullback, hold on. If you told me today that Tim Tebow was a fullback, I'd go like this. You know what? You should look at him. He might be able to start for you. You understand? He probably knows how to block. He can definitely run in short yardage situations. I think he could do some things. But a quarterback, he can't throw, okay? How many times will you have Patriot receivers open? If their job depended on Tim Tebow getting them the ball, they'd be playing in the Canadian Football League. Just stop, okay? Stop it, all right? He's right where he needs to be, learning behind Tom Brady, and in all likelihood, he'll be holding a clipboard most of the time. That is it. Stop.
Final quick story to illustrate what's going on here, Kerry Champion.
Yes.
On Friday night, Stephen A. Smith was texting back and forth with Ernestine, and I deeply, deeply appreciated Stephen A. Smith's words to Ernestine. They were heartfelt and they were very necessary on Friday night. But meanwhile, Skip here is watching Tebow, and at the end of the text session, I said, well, we'll text him and tell him I'm actually watching Tebow play. And he texted back, oh, Lord, like L-A-W-D, like, here you go. But thank you for those kind words.
Terry?